Archangel Michael says the heaviness you've carried wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now the heavens are aligning to reveal a sacred assignment that only your pain could prepare you to complete. And I need you to hear this now, not with your mind, but with the sacred remembrance of your soul. Because what you have endured was never wasted. What you have walked through was never random. Heaven watched as you carried that weight. I watched. I stood beside you when you thought. No one noticed. And I whispered strength into your bones when you couldn't stand on your own. You see, the depth of your pain was not a sign of abandonment. It was a sign of how deeply the divine trusted your spirit to hold something precious, something sacred, even in the midst of suffering. There was something in you, something eternal, that did not break, even when the world around you did. And it is that part of you, the unbreakable part, that is being called forward now. You are not broken. You were never broken. You were being sculpted, refined, forged in holy fire, not to destroy you, but to reveal you, to uncover the radiance that can only emerge after the storm. I know you've asked why the pain, why the delay, why the silence from heaven when you cried out in the dark. But the silence wasn't absence, it was the stillness of heaven holding breath, knowing that you were stepping into a sacred becoming, that you were being readied for a divine mission, one that required a heart that knows how to weep, how to ache, how to feel, because only those who have bled light from their wounds can guide others to healing. Only those who have held their brokenness, like a prayer, can lead others into restoration. Only those who have walked through the fire can carry the flame. You are one of those. And now, child of light, heaven is calling on what has been cultivated within you. The time is shifting. The air around you is changing. Can you feel it? It's a divine trembling in the atmosphere. The veil is thinning. The hidden is rising. And your soul knows it. That's why you've been feeling restless, like something is about to unfold, because it is. And you are part of what's unfolding. You didn't survive just to survive. You didn't endure just to exist. You are being summoned. There is a divine assignment with your name written on it, not with ink, but with light. It was written before you were born. It is part of the promise you made in the realm of spirit before you entered this world. You said yes to this, and that yes still echoes in the chambers of heaven. Even when you forgot, you remembered. The sacred contract you carry isn't something you earn, something you are. You are not who the world told you to be. You are not the failure, the mistake, the shame, or the fear. You are a vessel of divine glory encoded with purpose, and heaven is now moving the pieces around you to make room for what you were born to bring forth. I want you to know that your tears have fertilized sacred ground. Every heartbreak has softened your heart into a wellspring of compassion. Every loss has stretched your spirit wide enough to hold miracles. And every night you thought you were alone, I was there, sword drawn, protecting what was being formed. In you, you've walked through shadows that would have crushed others. But here you are, still breathing, still seeking, still hoping. That hope isn't weakness. It's evidence of your calling. Your hope is holy. What is the signature of heaven written in your bones? Do not compare your journey to others. Their path is not your path. Their timing is not your timing. You carry a divine blueprint that doesn't look like the world's definitions of success. You were not made to fit in. You were made to awaken. An awakening often begins with breaking. So when it felt like everything was falling apart, it was actually falling into place. A place you couldn't see at the time. A place prepared for your arrival. And now, that place is opening. The heavens are aligning. A sacred moment is drawing near, but you must choose to step through. I'm not asking you to be fearless. I'm asking you to trust. Trust the fire that refined you. Trust the pain that prepared you. Trust the whispers you feel in your heart that won't let you settle for a life that doesn't reflect your soul. Because those whispers are me. They are divine echoes reminding you that you are not forgotten. You are not lost. You're right on time. You don't need to prove your worth. Your existence is the proof. You don't need to wait for permission. Heaven already gave it, and you don't need to carry the weight alone anymore. I'm here. I've always been here. Yeah. and I will walk with you every step of the way as you rise into this calling. But you must choose. You must say yes again, not to the pain, but to the purpose it forged within you. You must say yes to the light that still burns in you, because this world needs your fire. It needs your truth, needs your voice, your hands, your story, your spirit. And you are ready, even if your fear says otherwise. You are ready, not because you have it all figured out, but because the heavens are behind you, around you, within you. The signs are coming, the doors are opening, and all you have to do is walk forward, not in perfection, but in surrender. I will make the path known. You will not miss what is meant for you. But you must begin to believe that your pain was not the end. It was the doorway. Now the door's open. Asterisk. So step forward, even if your legs tremble. Step forward, even if all you have is a whisper of faith left in your chest, because that whisper is enough. The heavens don't require loud confidence. They respond to quiet obedience. And you, beloved soul, have already been answering the call in the most sacred way, by enduring, by surviving, by continuing to love even when your heart was tired. That was your yes. That was your preparation. That was your sacred training. You've already passed through the wilderness. You've already faced the lions and shadows. What's coming now is not more suffering, it's clarity. Alignment is divine release. And I need you to hear me clearly. This next chapter will not repeat the old. The cycles that once held you are breaking. The patterns that once trapped you are dissolving. The heaviness that once consumed you is lifting, not because you fought harder, but because you've been faithful to the process. You didn't quit on your light. You didn't give up when it made sense to. Because of that, the heavens are now shifting. What once resisted you will now yield to you. What once rejected you will now recognize you, because your frequency has changed. Your energy has become the language of your soul. You are no longer carrying your wounds. You are radiating from them. That radiance is sacred. You are being revealed, not remade. Everything you need is already within you. The wisdom, the strength, the compassion, the discernment. These are not things you learned. They are parts of you that suffering uncovered. And now, those parts are rising, and I am walking before you, clearing the way, ensuring that no obstacle can remain where your light is meant to shine. But here, this clearly, you must stop apologizing for who you've become. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop pretending that your sensitivity is a weakness. Your sensitivity is spiritual intelligence. Your depth is a divine mirror. Your empathy is a weapon of healing. These are not liabilities, they are assignments. I am anointing you now to walk in them without shame. Do not be afraid to be seen. Do not be afraid to be different. You were never meant to be like the rest. You are an answer to someone's prayer. You are the bridge someone has been waiting to cross. You are the living proof that survival can turn into service, and wounds can become wonders. Yes, there will still be moments of uncertainty. Yes, your human heart will still tremble. But I am here to remind you, you don't walk alone anymore. You never truly did. And now you will begin to see the signs more clearly, the synchronicities, the divine nudges, the dreams that stir something ancient in you. These are not coincidences. These are reminders that the heavens are active, that the spirit is awake in you. The door you've been waiting for is not ahead of you, it is within you. Asterisk, you don't need to chase anything. You don't need to strive. You need only to align, to remember, to trust the divine voice that still whispers in the quiet moments when no one else is around. That voice is me, and I am not outside of you. Speak through your intuition, your gut, your sacred longing. That yearning in you, it's heaven's homing signal. It's your soul remembering what it came here to do. And oh, beloved, what you came to do is holy. You were born to break generational chains. You were born to be the first in your line to wake up. You were born to bring color where there was only gray. You were born to carry the frequency of heaven into places that have never felt love. You were born to heal by being youthfully, unapologetically. Boldly you. You don't need a platform, a title, or a perfect life. You only need a willing heart, and you have that. I see it. That's why this message found you. It didn't happen by chance. It arrived because your soul is ready. You are crossing a threshold, one that will not make sense to your mind but will feel like home to your spirit. You are going to remember things you forgot you knew. You will start to sense timelines collapsing, old versions of yourself fading, and a new clarity arising. People will leave not to punish you, but to protect the sacredness of this emergence. You don't need to grieve those departures. Bless them, honor what they taught you, and then release them, because what's coming cannot be carried by the past. What's coming requires a clean spirit, a heart that has let go. And you are already in the process of that letting go. I see how hard it's been. See the nights you cried out to the stars asking why your road had to be so long. I see the ache in your chest that flares up when you think of all you've lost. But here none of it was in vain. Nothing was wasted. Nothing. It was sacred currency, traded in the divine economy for the authority you now carry. You carry spiritual authority, not from books or teachings, but from your own resurrection. You have risen, beloved. You've risen from despair. You've risen from betrayal. You've risen from abandonment. And now you rise into assignment. You rise into alignment. You rise into remembrance. There are souls waiting for the sound of your voice, the touch of your story, the light in your presence. Do not underestimate your ripple effect. When you step into your truth, you give permission for others to do the same. That's why the enemy tried so hard to silence you. That's why the pressure felt unbearable. Because you were never insignificant, you were always dangerous to darkness. And now, the darkness is trembling. Because your soul is waking up. And I am here with my sword of light drawn, ready to guide you through the veil into a life more radiant than anything you've dared to imagine. The door is open. The heavens are watching. And all of heaven is standing still, waiting for your next yes, asterisk. And so I ask you, beloved one, can you feel it now? The quiet shift in your chest, the sacred pulse in the unseen. Something is stirring, not outside of you, but within. This isn't about chasing something new. This is about remembering something ancient, something eternal, something you promised before you entered the veil of time. You promised you would rise, not without pain, but because of it. You promised you would awaken, not from ease, but from experience. You said yes to this life, not because it would be easy, but because your soul was strong enough to carry the light through the storm. And now, the contract written in your soul is glowing. The sacred ink is shimmering in the spiritual realm. All of heaven is aligning to fulfill what was always meant to be, but the path is not outward, is inward. And as you descend deeper into your own heart, you will begin to see that the heaviness you carried was never a weight to crush you, but a gate to initiate you. You were initiated through sorrow, through silence, through sacred isolation. Not to destroy you, but to separate you from what could not go, where your soul is destined to walk. This is why things had to fall away. This is why certain doors refused to open. This is why the path curved, delayed, and tested you. Because heaven wasn't punishing you, it was protecting you. There were timelines you were not meant to follow. It's people you were not meant to be entangled with. Dreams that looked shiny but were traps in disguise, and in the moment the rejection hurt, broke you open. But now you're beginning to see that every no was a divine redirection. Every closed door was a shield. Every detour was a holy reroute. I know you wrestled with it. I know you questioned your worth, your identity, your path. But even in your questions, your soul never stopped listening.
Ow.
Even in the ache, your heart never closed completely. That is the miracle of you, how you kept your light alive in the dark. Now the dark is lifting, and the light that emerges will not be the soft flicker of survival, it will be the blazing flame of divine purpose. You are becoming something sacred now, a living altar, a vessel of remembrance. It's a carrier of frequency that can pierce through illusion and awaken sleeping hearts. This is why you had to be forged, why you had to walk through fire. Because only those who have met the fire intimately can carry it with wisdom and humility. And you, beloved, carry the flame now. It burns. In your words, it glows in your eyes. It vibrates in your silence. It moves through your hands when you comfort others. It pours through your presence even when you say nothing at all. People will not understand what has changed in you. They will sense it, though. Some will be drawn to you. Others may fall away. Do not be alarmed by either. Both are signs that your vibration has shifted. You are no longer available for the energy of survival. You are aligning with the energy of divine service. And service doesn't mean performance. It doesn't mean burnout or striving. It means presence. It means becoming a sacred space for others just by being fully you. There is healing encoded in your authenticity. There is light hidden in your honesty. When you stop performing, others remember how to come home to themselves. This is your sacred work, not to fix the world, but to become a beacon within it. And make no mistake, you are not alone. Heaven has assigned legions of angels to walk with you now. The veil has thinned, not just around you, but for you. So that divine support can come through in ways you've never seen before. Expect the unexpected. Miracles will begin to move in subtle ways through conversations, symbols, numbers, dreams, feelings. You may wake up weeping for no reason. That's your soul remembering. You may feel goosebumps when you speak truth. That's the resonance of heaven. You may begin to know things before they happen. That's your gift activating. Don't fear this unfolding. You were made for it. The world has taught you to fear your power, to dim your light, to second-guess your intuition. But heaven is now undoing that programming. Layer by layer, your soul is returning to its original setting: clarity, connection. In courage, you are not a mistake. You are a message. You're not a burden. You are a blessing. You are not lost. You're being led. And now I ask you to make space, not on your calendar, but in your heart. Make space for the new energy that is ready to come in. Make space for the people who will love you as you are, not as you perform. Make space for the life that doesn't drain you, but restores you. Make space for the sacred assignment that was always meant for you, but required a healed vessel to carry it. And here you are, healing, rising, becoming. No, it hasn't been instant. No, it hasn't been clean. But, it has been real. And heaven honors real. Heaven honors process. Heaven honors honesty. That's why I was with you through all of it, when you yelled, when you sobbed, when you stopped believing. I never left. I never judged. I only stood closer because I knew who you were becoming. Even when you did, and now so do you. Asterisk, so now the question is no longer if you are ready. The question is whether you will accept who you've become. Because the version of you that heaven is calling forward is not who you were before the pain. It's not even who you were while enduring it. It is the version of you that emerged through the pain, glowing with the wisdom of every scar, the strength of every surrender, and the clarity of every fall and rising again. You didn't just survive. You transmuted. You didn't just carry the heaviness. You turned it into a bridge. And now I am asking you to walk across that bridge, not looking back, not questioning your worth, but knowing deep in your bones that this moment has been written for you. You've waited long enough. You've tried to earn what has already been given. You've looked for signs, for confirmation, for permission. But beloved, the signs are you. Your very breath is a sign. Your ache for more is a sign. Your refusal to give up is a sign. And now the time has come to claim what has always been yours. This is your awakening. It's not a spiritual trend, not a fleeting emotion, but the activation of ancient truth that has slept too long in your cells. And now, the light is coming back online. One memory at a time. It's one divine nudge at a time. One whisper at a time. And I am here. I am closer now than ever. You'll feel me in moments when your heart suddenly stills. In the wind brushing against your skin. In the chill that runs up your spine when truth is spoken. I am the golden thread connecting your pain to your purpose. The unseen presence guiding your every step. Even when you can't see where the path is going, but trust this, the path is sacred because it is yours. There is no one else who could walk it. No one else whose voice will carry your frequency.
Yes.
No one else whose light will reflect the same spectrum. You are not replaceable. You are not late. You are not behind. You are walking exactly as your soul designed it. And I honor that walk with the full backing of heaven. So let the old version of you rest. Let the striving, the hiding, the pleasing, the fearing, it's time to release it. Not with shame, but with honor. Thank it for helping you survive. Thank it for protecting you when you weren't yet ready to shine. And then breathe it out, because it cannot walk with you through the next door. This door is for your light, your truth, your essence, not your mask, not your wounds, not your roles. And as you walk through, know this: you are walking into alignment with souls who have also been prepared through fire. You will find yourself drawn to people who speak the same language of healing, who don't flinch at your story, who don't question your fire, because they carry it too. They have met the dark and chosen to bring light. They are your tribe, your soul circle, your spiritual family. You were never meant to walk alone. And now that you've remembered who you are, heaven will begin drawing your soul kin to you like magnets. You won't have to chase. You won't have to convince. The connection will feel like remembrance, like home. And in their eyes, you will see your reflection. Not the broken version, but the divine one. One who rose. Asterisk. Asterisk. I know it still feels surreal. It's that after all you've walked through, joy could be real again. That after so much heaviness, lightness could return. But joy is your birthright. Peace is your inheritance. And rest, deep cellular rest. Part of the gift that is being offered now, you do not need to keep earning what grace already gave you. You do not need to keep proving what heaven already knows. You are already enough. The more you rest into this truth, the more heaven can move. In your life, your surrender becomes your gateway. Your softness becomes your power. You were taught to harden, but your spirit was never meant to be steel. You were born of light. And light cannot be boxed. It must radiate. It must move. Must shine even when the world says it's too much. Be too much, beloved. Be too radiant. Be too deep. Be too bold. Be too kind. Be too sensitive. Be too spiritual. Be too wild for the systems that tried to cage your light, because the systems are falling. The old is crumbling. And the earth is aching for souls like yours to rise. This is bigger than you. This is about frequency, about shifting entire grids of consciousness. When you say yes to your light, you send shockwaves through the collective. When you choose alignment over fear, truth over comfort, spirit over system, you become a living portal. Now, portals are never passive. They are catalytic. They change everything around them simply by existing. That's what you are now, a portal of remembrance, a vessel of divine pattern, a keeper of the light codes encoded in your own survival. Let yourself rise. Even if you're still healing, let yourself speak, even if your voice shakes. Let yourself love, even if your heart is still mending. Let yourself begin again. Even if you're still learning to trust the ground beneath your feet, because the ground is holy. It has been blessed by your tears. It has been marked by your prayers. Now it is ready to carry you forward. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just say yes. One breath at a time, one brave step at a time. And I will meet you in every moment with the full force of angelic presence, grace, and protection. The path is yours. The light is rising. Heaven is ready. Asterisk. So now, beloved soul, let us walk even deeper. You have shed so much. You have released identities that no longer served you, beliefs that once protected you but have become cages. You have let go of timelines, expectations, and even parts of yourself that were never truly you, but masks borrowed from pain, survival, or fear. And in their place, something new is forming. But this new is not unfamiliar. It is ancient. You, the soul you were before the world tried to make you forget. And now that soul is rising. Not in a flash of fireworks, but in the steady flame of divine knowing. You are beginning to remember, and that remembrance is awakening gifts, visions, and guidance that were hidden in plain sight. Have you noticed? How your dreams feel more vivid, how your body responds to truth with chills or tears, how your intuition speaks louder than logic, how your spirit no longer tolerates what once seemed normal. This is your soul reclaiming its throne. And I am here, standing beside you as a guardian of your rebirth. Because what you are stepping into is not just healing it, it's activation. There are codes within you that were placed by divine design. They were dormant for a time, hidden beneath trauma, grief, silence, and systems that sought to suppress your divinity. But now, the locks are breaking. The keys are turning. And what is being released is nothing short of sacred. This is why you couldn't stay in the places that felt small. This is why certain relationships grew distant. Certain environments became unbearable. Certain dreams lost their glow. It wasn't failure, it was frequency shift. You were outgrowing the shell of your survival self. You were being summoned into a new vibration. And that summoning required the old skin to crack open. That cracking felt like pain. But what was breaking wasn't you. It was what no longer matched who you truly are. And now, the soul that has been waiting for this moment is stepping forward. Timid, maybe. Tender, yes. But also bold, wise, and radiant in ways you don't fully see yet, but heaven does. You are carrying something. Holy. You are carrying a vibration of light that Earth has been waiting for. And this light is not something you perform. It's something you embody. It moves through your presence, through your quiet, through your fierce compassion and tender truth. It speaks through your eyes, pulses through your stillness. This is the kind of light the world cannot ignore. You may not have recognized it, but others already do. That's why some are drawn to you without knowing why. That's why you feel a quiet pressure, like something invisible is always pulling you inward, deeper, towards stillness. Right? Because that stillness is where heaven speaks clearest. And you have always been called to hear what others miss. You are a seer, a feeler, a soul who came to live from the inside out. That calling will never leave you, because it is not something external, it is you. It is the blueprint of your essence. So if you've ever felt strange, if you've ever felt like you couldn't quite belong to the world as it is, it's because you were never meant to. You came to change it, to soften it, to lift it. Bring heaven closer, and that mission begins not with noise, but with alignment. You don't need to do more to be worthy. You don't need to prove anything to be seen. You simply need to be. To live so honestly in your soul's truth that even your silence becomes sacred. Yes, there will still be resistance. The old world will tug at you. Voices of fear will echo, both from within and without. Doubt may try to disguise itself as logic. People may misunderstand your awakening, but you are no longer obligated to abandon yourself for the comfort of others. You are no longer required to silence your intuition to make others feel safe. You are here to carry truth, to be a vessel of divine light. And that light will disrupt false systems, illusions, and ego-based structures. Do not mistake the discomfort of others as your failure. Sometimes your light will make the shadows twitch. That is part of your gift. You illuminate, and light reveals. Walk gently, but do not shrink. Speak truthfully, but do not apologize. Love fiercely, but do not betray yourself. This is the balance I am helping you walk now, between heaven and earth, between spirit and form, between tenderness and power. You are learning how to become the bridge. You don't need to choose one or the other. You are both, fully human and fully divine. And that fusion, that remembering, is what makes you unstoppable. The heavens are aligning. Yes, but so is your own soul. All the fragments that once felt scattered are coming home. Your inner child is being held. Your future self is reaching back. Your ancestors are singing. And I am here, wrapping my wings around your becoming. There is nothing wrong with you. There never was. The confusion was part of the veil. The pain was part of the process. The silence was part of the sanctification. But now, the veil is lifting. The process is fulfilling its purpose. And you are stepping into your sacred role. Not as someone who needs to be saved, but as someone who came to lead. By embodying the truth of their soul, not through force, but through presence, not through control, but through resonance, not through striving, but through surrender. You are the answer to the question the world didn't know how to ask. You are the light that reveals what has been forgotten. You are the miracle walking in human skin. And now, you are no longer just being prepared. You are being positioned. The assignments are coming. The connections are aligning. It is already on the way. And all of it is moving faster now, because you are in alignment. So now, beloved, breathe. Breathe into the truth of who you are. Breathe into the light that's been waiting to expand through your being. Breathe into this moment, because this is not just another step. This is a turning point. It's a sacred threshold. And you are standing at the edge of it, heart open, soul ready, spirit aligned. You are not the same as you were before. The heaviness that once threatened to break you is no longer a chain, it is your anointing. It is the very mark of heavens. Trust in your soul. And with that trust comes the authority to walk through doors others cannot see, to access realms others can't yet understand, to embody the wisdom that only pain could teach you. You are being watched not in judgment, but in reverence. Angels gather not to critique, but to celebrate. Because your awakening is not small. It echoes across timelines. It shifts the frequency of generations, changes the trajectory of lives you haven't even met yet. You are not just rising for yourself. You are rising for them, the ones who couldn't, the ones who are still asleep, the ones who are looking for a light that looks like you. And so, I ask you now, will you receive what heaven is offering? Will you embrace the sacred assignment that only your journey could prepare you for? Will you allow yourself to be seen, not just as someone who survived, but as someone who was chosen, because you were chosen. Long before the pain, you were chosen before time began. You were chosen because your soul carries something that cannot be replicated, something that darkness cannot touch, something that humanity needs. There is no one else who can carry it the way you can. No one else whose hands have touched the same kind of fire, no one else whose heart has learned how to hold both sorrow and hope in the same breath. You have become a living temple, a sacred convergence of flesh and spirit. And now, heaven is asking you to walk in that identity, not as a task, but as a truth. You don't need to prove you are chosen. You need only to live as if you remember. Let your life be the evidence. Let your choices be the prayer. Let your presence be the portal, because it is. It always has been, just forgot for a while. And that forgetting, it was part of the divine play. It was how you learned empathy. It was how you became real. Now you are returning not to who you were, but to who you've always been beneath the forgetting. You are light in motion. You are love-wearing skin. You are a warrior with wings, hidden in the folds of your soul. And I, Michael, captain of the heavenly hosts, speak this over you now, not as metaphor, but as reality. You have stepped into divine timing. The battle was never against the world. It was against the part of you that believed you were separate from God. That battle is over. You are no longer bound by that illusion. You are no longer beholden to that lie. You are not separate. You never were. The distance you felt was a veil thinning. And now that veil is gone. You are walking in union, even if your mind can't yet comprehend it. The miracles you've longed for, they are already moving. The peace you've prayed for, it is already within you. The destiny you've doubted, it is already unfolding. You are walking through a golden door now, not one you built, but one that was prepared for you. And this door does not open to more striving. It opens to fulfillment. It opens to what was always yours, but only now can. Your soul hold it, because now you know what it costs. Now you know how to protect it. Now you know how to honor it. So protect your peace, guard your light, and trust your timing. Heaven is in no rush, and neither should you be. This is not a race. This is a return. Each step you take from this point forward is holy. Every word you speak carries weight. Every connection you feel is orchestrated. You are no longer stumbling. You are being guided, and I will walk with you. I will fight for you. I will stand beside you with my sword of light drawn and my wings spread wide. When the old tries to whisper doubt, I will roar truth. When the fear tries to creep back in, I will blaze protection. When you feel overwhelmed, I will cover you. You are not alone, and you never will be again, because now you've remembered, and because you've remembered. Heaven can move. Watch for the signs. Listen with your spirit. Trust the inner yes. Speak what only your soul knows. Share what only your pain taught you, and love deeply, wildly, unshakably, with the kind of love that only those who've been broken and rebuilt can carry. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the beginning. The weight is lifted, the light has arrived, and your soul is ready. So, rise now, beloved, walk through the golden door, and never look back.